It's not like I feel threatened by this guy, but the more you ignore him, the more likely it is that he could threaten you. I hope you didn't kick Zeke out because you don't trust him. I'll trust your judgment, Nichelle. But I won't turn away while our other son is making the biggest mistake of his life. This shouldn't be happening. I don't care. Alan, I don't know why you came back, but I'm telling you right now that I'm not ready to have a round 2 with you in my office. Does that mean you'll be willing to hook up with me in your office a second time? You ready to be done with the school year this week? I definitely am. It's crazy that we're going to be seniors after this year is over. When I enrolled to Valley Park High, I never expected it to be as crazy as it was. And you sure never expected me to be your friend by the end of the year either. Zeke, didn't you hear me calling you? Any good news? Mrs. Russo, what are you doing here? To let you know that you won't succeed in turning my son against me. Hooking up in my office was a one-time thing, Alan. I'm chief of staff. What we did set a terrible example for the hospital staff. I get it. My grandfather would lose it if I hooked up with anyone at Russo Jewelers. But there are plenty of places the two of us can spend time together. We won't be spending time together anywhere. What happened in this room, it was a moment of weakness. Dr. Murphy, showing weakness is looked down upon in my family. But you can be weak with me as long as I'm able to be weak with you. I'm really sorry for the hostility I showed you most of the school year. It's all in the past now, Vanessa. Besides, what sort of friend would I be if I held on to grudges? Since we're friends, we've got an entire summer to make up for lost time. Sounds like you've got some adventures planned for me, Max. Since I left the Catholic Church after I got saved, we'll be seeing each other at church often. Other than seeing you at church, I sure would like to hang out with you on your free time. What had you so focused? Just scrolling through stupid videos. Did you apply to the school's tech program for senior year? Yeah, I'm looking into doing HVAC. I still can't believe I'm actually being serious about school right now. For the longest time, I wasn't even sure if I'd even have a future. Now you can be sure. Zeke, you've really got a lot to offer to this world, and I'm just so proud of you. You feel like this is the place to come discuss this? At my job? What's the issue? You had no issue screwing my husband. Gianni and I are over now. Clearly. Most of all, I'm not trying to turn Ben against you. Oh, really? Then how come he came to my office ready to make me an enemy, just to stay with you? Mrs. Russo, I never asked him to confront you. In fact, I asked him not to. Do you smell smoke, Quinlan? It might be coming from your pants, because I'm not buying the crap you're selling. Since there's no reasoning with you, I think we should end this conversation so that I can get back to work. Who's stopping you? Unfortunately, I'm not sure if you can work well knowing that I'm preparing to make your life a living nightmare. Aren't you Catholic? What happened to the whole remaining pure for marriage thing? I still attend Mass every now and then. Of course, not as often as my grandparents. My dad always taught me that I could always go to confession in case guilt kept eating me up. That sort of advice doesn't surprise me coming from your father. Besides, being with you doesn't feel wrong, Dr. Murphy. If it didn't feel right to you, then you wouldn't have hooked up with me to begin with. I'll be working at the mall this summer. Even though my family's been blessed with this newfound wealth, I'm not trying to depend on it. What a coincidence. I'll be working at the mall this summer too. I'll be working at the Russo jewelry store, of course. We can hang out during break and after we're finished with our shifts. Do you just expect me to ignore JJ and Ulissa just for me to spend time with you, Max? Bring them along. We can make this a group thing. It would give me a chance to know JJ and Ulissa better. You sure you're proud of me? Working HVAC makes me feel like that's beneath you. Don't think of it like that, Zeke. Look at Vanessa Doval. Her dad owns an HVAC franchise. Maybe I'll be working for him after I finish the program. Better yet, you can become friends with her, just like your sister is. Not happening. The point I'm trying to make is that if Jeremiah Doval can find a lot of success in his company, then you can too. I don't deserve your support, Nichelle. If you think that I'm afraid of you, Mrs. Russo, then you're sadly mistaken. You can't do anything to me or my brother. Zeke did as you asked. Adaku's organization has crumbled and Zeke is no longer dealing. For now. Soon he'll get bored and miss out on all the money he made. Once that happens, your baby brother will fall into old habits, and I'll be right there to catch him when he slips. I'm getting really tired of you threatening my family, and you make me sick, tearing my family apart. This is a game you started, Quinlan. I'm ready to play. Is everything okay here? Again, Alan. I'm chief of staff at this hospital. I've got a reputation. I was born into the Russo family. I've got a reputation as well. Exactly. If anyone finds out about us, it will be a disaster. I'm not gonna shout it to the rooftops, Dr. Murphy. You have my word. I'm sure that Finnegan and Heidi didn't shout their affair to the rooftops, but they were caught. Luckily for you, I'm not Finnegan, and you're certainly not Heidi. Since I'm not your ex-husband, I think that gives me pointers. Alan, do you only like me because I'm what you consider a booty call? I like you because you're a good listener. Dr. Murphy, you're cooler than you realize, and of course, you're hot. What's wrong, Vanessa? Don't worry about it. I'm starting to worry. That's the same sort of look I saw you have when I saw you looking at your phone during your family's barbecue. What's going on? Max, if our friendship is gonna continue, then you should listen when I tell you to drop it. Well, you've got my support, Zeke, and you'll have to deal with it. What if I mess up again? You're human, aren't you? Just don't cheat on me again. Most of all, be honest, and we'll make this relationship work. See you later. Mrs. Russo is distracting me from my work, and I would like her to leave. DA, as CEO of this company, I don't like seeing any of my employees being harassed. Police. Since I am the DA, I know exactly what harassment looks like, but I'll go. What was that about, Quinlan? Ben decided to give me a second chance, and his mother has nothing better to do than complain about it. Pacho Torres coming to Quinlan's rescue. I could do something with that.